Hey there guys, pick up time, and I've got Sega Megadrive and Saturn games to show. Only a couple of Megadrive games I've picked up. So the reason for these are the fact that I've been playing a lot of Megadrive over the last year, this summer, and you know, I use the Everdrive, and I've got all the games I pretty much want on it. But I've played it so much that certain games I found the ROM files, the ROM sets for those games aren't as good as I'd like them to be. I mean, I don't think any ROM file is going to be 100%. You know, that's just my opinion. So there are certain games I really wanted to just have a physical copy of. Plus, going forward in time, I think they're great standard games that I think over time people are going to look back and think, you know, it's probably better to have a nice physical copy of. Well, I certainly am anyway. And they're cheap, common games, so nothing special. But I found by playing them on the Mega Drive that sometimes, not these particular games included, that they can have certain glitches, and especially when you're using codes and stuff like that and passwords. So personally, for me, to rule out any kind of issue with the ROM files, I just want to get a cartridge copy and just play it that way instead. I know there are certain ROM sets out there. They're called no intro ROMs, which essentially I think are the best ROM files you can get for certain games, certain consoles. But even playing those, I mean, I think in my opinion, there's not really ever going to be a 100% ROM dump. As good as ROM files are, you know, I'm happy to have them, I'm happy to play them, but with certain games I'll play over and over, I just have it in the back of my mind that it's not going to be as direct 100% as having the cartridge. You know, that ROM file is going to have been taken off that cartridge at some point, zipped up, compressed, you know, unzipped, sent somewhere else, uploaded, downloaded, and that file over time is, I don't know, it's just doesn't quite sit right with me for certain games. So without further ado, that's the reason why I picked these up, and the reason why I'm going to pick up some more Mega Drive games, certain games, just to have physical copies of. This is not a game I had a problem with. The reason why I picked this game up, this is NHL 93, was the fact that it's a fantastic hockey game, and I think it's probably one of the best, probably the best early hockey games on the Mega Drive, simply for the fact that it's the one that contains, you know, the fighting, the gore. I think is it got blood in it? I don't know, but it's got the fighting in it, which they took out in later NHL games. So this one especially, while it's cheap and quite common, I thought I'd pick it up because I don't know, years down the line, people might cotton on to the fact that, oh no, you know, the later NHL games, they took out the fighting, like 95, 97. I think this one in 94 are looked at as the best ones, but this one especially because it, I think it just plays ideally for me. I think it's got everything. And I think from that point they started to take away from the series. But yeah, for the pinnacle of the series, this is the best one I thought I'd get a physical copy of. So it's a screenshot, so you can see it's like a vertical, you know, top to bottom hockey game. That's what it looks like there. You know, the crowd chanting, the animation, the gameplay, just absolutely perfect. So nice, fully complete copy. All these games are nice and complete, so really happy to have a copy of that now. I've actually just recently put my Mega Drive away. I've had it out all summer. You know, over the last week, as you've seen, I've been playing a lot of Sega Saturn. So the Mega Drive's packed away now. So I'm just focusing on a bit of Saturn now, Sega Saturn. Next game is another EA. These are all EA games, actually. In fact, this is one of the Strike series. This is Urban Strike. I beg your pardon. Urban Strikes I've been playing a lot of as well, and now this is one of the reason I picked this up is, again, I found issues with this because it uses a password feature, and you can put codes in on it. So with the ROM file on the Everdrive, I found sometimes it kind of makes the game glitch out, and I found on a certain ROM file that I was using at the time that there was a graphical glitch on the map, on the menu map, one of the pictures, there's like a graphical glitch. I've got another ROM file, like a no intro ROM file, which fixed the problem, which, you know, took away the glitch. But again, for the purposes of my insanity, I wanted a physical copy so I wouldn't have to have any kind of issues with, you know, graphical glitches, with a problem with the ROM dump. You know, you're not going to get better than the physical copy. So I think I'm starting to go down that road. I've always used ROM files, you know, for emulation on MAME, and I've got no problem with ROM files whatsoever. But lately, I'm starting to see and have in the back of my mind issues with ROM files. If you play them so much and so much on the Megadrive, I think you'll start to see issues, and I'm starting to get that kind of feeling with these games now, certain games. So again, absolutely the same reason for this game, Desert Strike. It's an absolute classic. I actually, the first Desert Strike I played was on the Super Nintendo, but you know, over the years I've come to the realization that, you know, the Super Nintendo port of Desert Strike was absolutely not as good as the Mega Drive version. The Mega Drive version is the way to play it, much smoother. The Mega Drive's CPU is much faster, double the speed of the Super Nintendo. So absolutely the way to play Desert Strike. And it, you know, took me years to figure this out. You know, I always thought the Super Nintendo was the best system, but you know, I didn't know anything about, you know, kind of back in the day, I didn't know anything about, you know, the differences in the processors and why, you know, there was these console wars. But over the years and playing them side by side, comparing them, understanding, you know, the way these games were made for those particular consoles, that Desert Strike on the Mega Drive is the best way to go. So that's why I've got myself a physical copy. Again, nice and complete. Love Desert Strike, and it's a great game. So yeah, I think I'll pick up Jungle Strike at some point, but I wanna give those two a good play. But you know, I've packed the Mega Drive away now, so it's probably going to be a little while. So that's all the Mega Drive. I'll show you the Saturn pickups now. I think most of these are SATA core, but there's a couple non-SATA core pickups. First one is I don't know if I've shown this one actually, but I think this is a recent pickup. This is a virtual on. I think I have shown this actually, so I won't be long showing it. It's just like a cyber mech game. I think I've shown that actually. I can't remember. But these ones I certainly haven't shown. Let's start with the non-SATA core games. I've got a shooter. It's a horizontal shooter, and yeah, it's one I should have got a long time ago, but I already had one of the games in the series, and so I wanted to give that some time and play through it before I justified picking this up, because this has always hovered to be around about a 30, 40 £40 mark game. I got this for about £35. I think it's fully complete with a spine card. It's Sexy Parodius. So that's it. I finally got this game after years and years. I've never played this game on the Saturn. So after years and years, I finally got myself a copy. So it's the cutesy, cute 'em up, horizontal shooter, Sexy Parodius. I'm actually still yet to play it. So I think next week I might get into it over the weekend and play it next week. And I'm thinking about doing a week of Sega Saturn shooters. And I've just done a week of Sega Saturn games. I want to continue the theme and get some, more consistent videos put up. So I might do a week of that and different genres on the Saturn. But I'm really getting back into making nice short videos on the Saturn now. It's, playing all these games again, it's really nice to dust them off and get them out, especially the more obscure ones. I mean, that's the whole reason I've been playing these over the last week, is to bring out the more obscure games on the Saturn instead of playing the ones everyone's familiar with, kind of thing. The same old videos, same old games all the time. So it might give you some idea of the games that are on the Saturn that you weren't aware of, kind of thing. So it's been fun making those and pulling those out. So this is oh no, that's the SATA core one. We'll skip that. Oh, these are all SATA core now, actually. So yeah, these are all just Sattercore pickups. So all, as always, complete with spine card. That's the whole point of the Sattercore collection. This one is 2DO Aru Kotowa Sando Aru. It's a puzzle game. It's just a puzzle game. There we go, complete with spine card. I don't know what this is about. I don't know. It just looks like a crazy Japanese puzzle game. I haven't looked into what the gameplay is about. It looks like mini games, puzzle involvement. No idea. Completely Japanese, but part of the Sattercore collection. This one's a baseball game. Yeah, it's not factory sealed, but this took me ages to come across. A seller has actually got a whole box of these now selling. I don't know if they sold them all, but I snapped one up as soon as I saw it listed. So this is Greatest 998. It's just a baseball game. You won't be able to see the screenshots, I don't think. Let's see. You might do. You know, just a baseball game. There we go. This is a football simulator. This is like a Japanese version of like Championship Manager, essentially. Actually, I've stuck this on for a few minutes just to see it. It's got really lovely presented graphics, lovely menus. It looks like a really good game to play, and I've never really been into like games like Championship Manager, but I actually recently considered getting a copy on the Megadrive just to see how they are and what I've missed out on, because I was never into that football in that kind of way. Because these kind of games, you don't play the football match. I was always, into playing the football match, but the whole Championship Manager, the managerial side of the game, didn't appeal to me. But only recently, I thought I might give it a shot and see what it's all about. So again, that's complete stock with spine card. Okay, and the last game finally is a horror game. This is well, kind of a horror game. It's this is actually a really interesting release. This is Hyaku Monogatari. Yeah, that's how you say it. And this is basically a disc of 100 scary Japanese stories. So it's essentially, think of this like a Ouija board. So in Japan, there's this kind of mythology that where people go into a house. Maybe, I don't know if they do it at Halloween or what. They go into a house. There's 100 candles lit. Everyone's in one room, and then one by one, you have to go into this other room where all the candles are and blow one candle out and tell you tell a horror story. Then you go and blow one of the candles out, and for every person that goes and tells a story and blows a candle out, the room gets darker and darker. When the last person goes in and tells the 100th story and blows that last candle out, something like some spirit is supposed to come. So I'm a bit trepidatious about playing this through to completion. So essentially, there's 100 stories on here. There's lots of full motion video. It plays the story through, and then after each one, you blow the candle out. So you choose which one you want to see at a time. So yeah, a bit trepidatious of like completing this because it might release some spirit or something. I don't know, but a really interesting release on the Saturn. Hyaku Monogatari. So that's 100 stories, essentially 100 stories. That's the translation. So yeah, really interesting release. But yeah, I'll probably keep that one in the fridge or something, just ward off the spirits or something, put some garlic around it or something, I don't know. But that's it. That's all my Sega Saturn pickups and a bit of Megadrive. And I think I'm gonna go forward with the Megadrive very slowly, just picking out those games I really want to have a physical copy of. Games that I've had problems with ROM files on. Rock and Roll Racing springs to mind. That's one I was, that's one that takes passwords as well, and I was putting in a passcode on it, and the game just bugged out. That was when I was playing it on obviously the EverDrive. So I want to get a physical copy of that, and there's one or two others. So yeah, I'll definitely be getting some more physical Mega Drive games in the future. But stay tuned. I think next week I might consider doing a week of Sega Saturn shooters. I mean, you know, the good ones. So stay tuned for that. I'll do some videos each day for those, and then maybe I'll do after that a week of Sega Saturn fighters, and maybe some other bits of the genre for the Sega Saturn, like, you know. So I just want to keep putting out the content. It's really enjoyable getting into the Saturn. I'm finding there are 1 or 2 games I really want to play through. Games like Hexen, actually, I'm really considering just sitting down and playing through for the enjoyment, because I've never played it through properly before, so it's just been sitting in the loft. So waffling on now anyway. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. And yeah, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.